Hello. Let's wait. People log in. Hey Siva. Yeah, we have a few. Hey Anahita. Hey G1. Thanks for logging in. Raju Hitesh. Welcome. Hey Shashank. Hemant. Rameshri. Thanks for logging in. Hi. We'll just wait for another 30 seconds. Before we start off, just wait for a few people. Nice. Hey Priya, how are you? Thanks for logging in. Hey Abdul. Hi Hitesh. Thank you. Hey Bharat. Pram's asking, are you in Chennai? No. This live from Bangalore, but we do have a store in Chennai. We have 108 Bespoke store in Chennai. Hey Rajan, how are you, man? How's it in Australia? Hey Vijay. Hey Sharath, thanks for logging in. Hi Naman. Hey Freddy. Thank you. Yep. So let's quickly get started. Today's session is with Neha Mathur. So Neha Mathur is an experienced image consultant. She studied her image management from India's reputed Image Consulting and Business Institute, which is associated with the Consul Institute of Image Management. She's a certified image consultant and a soft skills trainer accredited by the Scottish Qualification Authority and the National Accreditation Board of Education and Training. Her passion is to combine the two domains of image consultant and soft skills to help individuals and groups bridge the space between their true self and the image they would like to project to the world. And her other interests include photography. She's worked with a lot of individuals, both men and women, ranging from the corporate sector, lawyers, entrepreneurs, fitness coach, homemakers. She's facilitated group workshops for employees of various companies. She's conducted a lot of workshops. She's worked also as a stylist for different fashion brands. Welcome. Hi Hiti. Hello. We have enough, and let me quickly allow Neha in 1 second. Yeah. So let's have some noise for Neha Mathur. You in, Neha? Hey Neha, how are you?
Hey Bharat. Hey, good evening.
Good evening. So glad you could join us.
Hey, I'm excited.
So
I'm super excited.
yeah. So am I audible? All
Yes, clear.
okay,
Yes.
cool. So let me just start off, talking about what's happening. Obviously, the talk we've had enough of such talks, but then with this COVID and other things around, has it changed anything for your business at all in the sense the way you work and things?
It has. There's been a lot of changes because most of my work is in-person consultations, or even the trainings that I conduct are all in person. Everything's moved online. So
Nice.
I'm actually busier now than I was pre-COVID. So
Wow.
there is more work. There is people have more time. So even my individual one-on-one clients, they want to spend more time now in doing these sessions online and stuff. So it's it's. I think I'm one of the few people, who for whom it's going well right now. So
So that's
yeah,
very good. Yeah. That's very good. I think
yes.
you made the most of the situation. And I think in your line, I'm sure you do need that physical interaction with the client, but I think most of it can be done through consulting online or talking to them or giving them trainings or workshops that you already do online, I think. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm also learning. See, I've always done
correct.
in-person sessions, right? So the last two and a
Correct.
half, 3 months have been a learning on how do I do these sessions in person or online,
Okay.
because I've my one of my strengths is I'm able to build that instant rapport with the people that I interact with. So how
Correct.
do you do that online is a completely different ball game, and of course I'm learning. It's been quite an interesting journey. The last 2-3 months have been very interesting on that front.
Very nice. So what do you see? What's the future when obviously the things get better? What do you think is the new normal for image consultants, or at least for you?
For me, I think a lot of my work is going to move online, and fortunately for me, the clients that I've delivered the sessions for, right, they have seen value. They are coming back for more sessions, right? The individual clients want to continue doing these sessions online. So and
Right.
it works out very well for me, because then I'm not rushing from one place to the other, driving
Correct.
across crazy Bangalore traffic. That being said,
Mhm.
yes, and I can get a lot more done in a day now, with things moving
Yeah.
online.
Talking about traffic, you can probably take 2 sessions extra a day now than before, right?
Easily,
Yeah.
easily. Yes, yes, yes. And that is if it's not at the peak time, huh? If it's at the peak time, then
Exactly.
you're gone. You're
Then
gone.
probably you're
Yeah.
I can totally
True,
understand. So just with respect to the other things, right? Now, for example, if you can just give, I did read a few things of what you do, but just if you can just talk about what you do, etc., so that people who join can know, right? Or who will see a
true.
video later. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, pretty much what you read, the certifications and all of that. So, there are three type of clients, so to speak, that I work with, right? I work one with individuals, where I do
Correct.
customized consultations on their image management, in terms of how they build their personal brand, how they
Right.
strengthen their personal brand, because
Right.
personal branding is a very, very important aspect, for
Correct.
everyone.
Correct.
For everyone. So that
Correct.
is
Correct.
one part that I work on. I work with a lot of management colleges, MBA colleges
Right.
specifically, where I train the students on, again, these aspects of communication,
Wow.
on etiquette, how do they conduct themselves. So basically, trying to make them corporate ready.
Right.
And the third aspect is, again, organizations where we hear terms like power dressing or executive presence. So I basically
Nice.
go in and kind of make sure that the employees are in sync with the brand image that the company has for themselves in the way they are dressing and presenting themselves. Yeah, yeah. So
That's really cool. So before we just enter the next section, do you have any question for our audience? Who
yes,
and
yes,
before
yes.
actually before even you ask the question, if there are a few new people who haven't joined us last week, basically we're going to ask you 3 questions, and Neha's going to ask you those questions, and the ones who answer them, I think in the back end they'll just see who was answered it first, get either a customized wallet or a customized mask or a voucher from 108 Bespoke. Yeah. So yeah, Neha, you can start off with your first
All
question
right.
for.
All right.
Yeah.
So this first
Yeah.
one, let's make it very simple, very easy, which pretty much I think everyone will have the answer to. Now, the question
Yes.
is, name three colors. Okay. Name three colors, chat box, three colors that every working professional should have in their wardrobe. Be it a guy, be it a girl, irrespective of the gender, three basic colors that everybody should have in their wardrobe. Let's see
Yeah.
what people come up with.
Yeah. So if we can have people, yeah, type it. We can read a few. And okay, we have Mr. Wiki,
Okay,
Anahita.
black, white, blue, and Aita says white,
Yeah.
black, blue, black, white, blue. Wow, wow, interesting. Somebody's written
Yeah.
gray as well. Nice. Black, white, blue.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I think, and then there are few, I think, of them who on Zoom they're live. We won't be able to see their comments, but then I
Oh,
hope
okay.
Vineet is moderating that, so they'll get us
Okay.
the winners from there too. So yeah, what do you think? What should be the answer to that question, Neha?
Okay, so there's definitely more than just three colors, but most of the people who've said black, white, navy blue, these are some essentials. What I would add to this is gray, of course, the darker shade of gray. That's again a neutral that goes with everyone on every skin tone. Beige, again, especially for Indian skin tones, beige is again a neutral, a wardrobe neutral color to have in your wardrobe, because you can again play around with these colors. You can team up a lot of other exciting colors with these basics. So yeah, these are
True.
very versatile colors to have in the wardrobe. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So I think in the section forward, we'll have much more to discuss on image consultancy. So a few
Yes.
people, so if people have questions on image consultancy, you can please put it in the chat box, or you can put it in the Zoom, and at the later section, Neha can take those questions. Yeah, when after we finish this section. So the first thing that I want to ask you was what. So see, we are from the industry probably because I've met so many image consultants. We've been like we know each other from at least a couple of years. So I know what image consultancy is and what they do. But I'm sure a lot of people, it's a very new thing for people. So what is
Yes.
image consultancy? What does it contain? A few people think it's only about clothing. What is it about? If you can just, yeah, in few words,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I'll pick up from where you left. Few people think it's just about clothing, right? And I'm sure you've also heard this. A lot of people confuse stylists or fashion designers also with image consultants, right? So
True,
let me take care of that myth instantly. Image consultant, we don't design clothes. Of course, we do a little bit of styling job as well, given the knowledge that an image consultant has. But the primary area that I work with as an image consultant, right? What I do is I work with people on, of course, their appearance, how they are dressing, how they are presenting themselves. So the clothing is a part of it and a very important aspect of it. But there's
right,
also your communication style. How are you talking to people? How are you
correct,
interacting with people, right? Your body language, that plays an important part. And of course, your etiquette. So I
right.
call it ACE, appearance, communication, and etiquette. These are the
Wow.
three major things that an image consultant works with individuals on and helps them
So
enhance.
I think, yeah,
Yeah,
so that's good. Yeah, most of them
yeah,
get stuck with the A part, right? Appearance itself. But then
yes,
I think there's
yes.
so much more to communication and etiquettes, right?
Yes, yes. So you can wear a very expensive suit, right? But if you are not
Right.
able to conduct yourself properly, then the
Correct.
the whole purpose of wearing that suit is defeated. So you
Totally,
should
totally.
have the personality to match your clothing as well. Yeah. So that's
Right.
what I help people with. Yes.
Oh, that's very cool. So one more thing that if you can add on, so okay, so what are the steps? Like normally, assume that I'm coming to you,
Hmm.
and for either personal branding or for image consultancy, right? How do you go, like step by step?
Okay. So the first and most important step for me, the way I go about it is first understand why do you want an image consultant. So I
Right.
start with the why, because if the client doesn't know what they need or why are they really, if they're looking for an image makeover, then
Correct.
that's not what an image consultant does. We go more deeper into understanding what their lifestyle is, what their preferences are,
Right.
from a clothing aspect, what are the kind of colors they like, what are the kind of prints they like. And then of course, the in terms of communication, of course, when you interact with them, you tend to pick up on things that the client might need a little bit of tweaking up with, because
Correct.
my belief is somewhere deep down we all know. These are just certain
Right.
things that we kind of need to be reminded about, like in terms of
Right.
etiquette, how do you interact with someone from another country, or how do
True.
you
True.
conduct yourself in a professional situation, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
these are the things. And so along the process is when I see, okay, now there is a need, maybe I need to spend a little bit time on the etiquette. If there
Correct.
is a need to talk about fine dining etiquette, so this is again,
Correct.
it's not a pre-packaged plan that I offer,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
um, Wherever I see a need, and of course it has to come from the client. It
Right. It's
has to
customized
come.
totally.
Yes,
Yes.
it is absolutely customized. Whatever I'm doing for client A will not be the same as client B. The
Client
conversations are
B.
very
Yeah.
conversation, because every individual is different, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
their preferences, their mannerisms, their habits, what have they learned, right, in their
Correct.
lives, in their college, in their childhood? What is the conditioning that they've received? Conditioning is basically
Correct.
whatever you've been exposed to while growing up.
Correct.
So
Correct.
then how do you refine that is that's the next step. But first is understanding what is the need, what are the areas that they want me to work on, rather than me
Correct.
saying, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. That's not the way to go about it anyways. That has to
Correct.
come from within. So once we identify together with the client, then we go into the next step and go into a deeper understanding of, okay, so you need help with clothing, for example. So then
Right.
we understand, okay, what are the preferences, what is the lifestyle, what is their budget. That's very
Correct.
important, because people think, oh, hiring an image consultant, that means, I'll have to spend a lot on clothes. It's not like that. Whatever
True.
the price point or the budget the client is comfortable with, I will offer them solutions or recommendations based on that.
Right.
So it doesn't
Right.
always have to be like a very expensive proposition for the client. They,
Correct.
at the end
So
of
is
the day,
there,
they need to feel comfortable. Yeah.
right. So is there age factor? Like, how early can somebody go to an image consultant?
Okay, so I'm so glad you've asked me that question, because when I started out, I had this mindset, and that, only people in their mid 30s or 40s need an image
Correct.
consultant.
Right.
Trust me, Bharat, doing this for as long as I've been doing, I've realized that even youngsters, 20-year-olds have, come up to me and taken individual consultations. So
Correct.
it's and everyone, like, who doesn't need, like, who doesn't want to create a strong impact, a strong impression with,
Correct.
maybe as an entrepreneur, you want to create an impression with your clients. At an interview for a student, they want to impress the company, the people that are interviewing them, right? If you're already in an organization, you want that promotion, so you want to interview, you want to impress the leaders in the organization. So
True. True.
so I think image management, personal branding is for everyone. It's
Yeah.
just about customizing it for that particular person.
True. But I think earlier the better, because I think at least that makes people self-aware about their
Yes.
image, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of assumptions that go around people portraying an image. They might,
Yes.
so they're aware of what an image is and what personal branding really means. I think it'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, with respect to personal branding, that word itself, can you just elaborate a bit on it? Because, people might confuse, like, is personal branding and image consultant, is it exactly the same thing, or there is a bit of difference in both?
There is more to personal branding. So image consulting is a part of personal branding, right?
Correct.
Of course, clothing, your communication, your etiquette are the pillars that we build your
Correct.
personal brand on. Now, in terms of communication, if I'm doing an image consulting assignment, image management assignment, I'm only talking about body language and how the person is communicating. But
Correct.
if I'm focusing on developing the personal brand of a person, somewhere your social media presence also plays a very, very important part. Your digital presence, right?
Okay.
How are you
Wow.
coming across on WhatsApp when you're
Right.
chatting with people, when you're interacting with people, when you're posting something on Instagram, when you're
Wow.
putting up something on LinkedIn?
Correct.
So I don't give them a strategy in terms of
Correct.
what they should be doing for their brand, but I tell them the do's and don'ts. What are the things to
Correct.
avoid? Like, don't post everything that you post on Instagram on LinkedIn.
True.
These
True.
are
True.
separate
They're two
platforms.
different
If you're a
things.
business owner, again, it has to be relevant to the audience. So those are the kind of
Correct.
additional inputs that come in the personal branding aspect.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're saying personal branding has much more to it than what people can think about. It's more,
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
only physical, right? I think in today's age, what happens, I think in the digital world matters as much as what happens in the physical world, because people are spending
Absolutely.
so much time online.
Yes,
Yeah, the
yes.
number of
And trust me,
hours. Yeah,
we all, like, if I have a meeting coming up with someone, right? What's the first thing I
correct,
do? I go online, I check them out, I read a little bit. That's
correct,
the way I'm doing my homework for that meeting,
correct,
right? We're
correct.
all we're all looking people up. So why not have
Totally,
that
totally.
impressive digital presence also,
Correct. Yeah.
right? That
So
works in our favor.
it does, it does. I think what and where we come from, obviously, we're in industries where we talk about image, we talk about clothing, we talk about, the first probably 2 seconds or even 10 seconds, the first impressions, right?
Yes,
How it
yes.
matters, how it's more psychological, where what people think about you, right? And that goes a lot with what image you're portraying. So
Hmm.
one quick question, Neha. So what if somebody is not in Bangalore? I know, okay, I think in the introduction I missed that out. Neha Mathur is from Bangalore.
Yes.
She, I think, was for a brief period in US.
Yes, for about 4 years,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm a
4 years.
Delhi
Yeah.
girl living in Bangalore now.
Uh,
So I'm more a
nice,
Bangalorean now than I'm a Delhiite.
nice. So yeah, so if somebody is not in Bangalore, can they still engage you or take your services? Yes.
Absolutely. In fact, now I have a few clients, individual clients. One of them is in Pune. There's one in Chennai. So I am doing online sessions. All of these consultations, everything is happening online at a
Nice.
time convenient for them. Of course, place they're sitting in their living rooms or in their office. So yeah, I
Correct.
mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the clients are based. If they want me to work with them, I'm available. It's on Zoom. There's so many platforms now. Thanks to technology. That's not a
True.
restriction
True.
at all. At all. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. Mansa says Bangalore consultants rock.
Consultant.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks.
Mansa.
Thanks. So Mansa was with us last week. I hope you saw
Yes.
that session. Yeah.
Absolutely. She absolutely rocked it. And I was part nervous. Let me tell you, since Mansa's here now, I was very nervous that, oh my God, she's done such a fantastic job. And I'm up next. How am I going to do this now?
She's
It's
a
a
rock
tough
star.
act to follow.
Yeah. I was tensed uh, when I had to probably do a session with Mansa.
Oh, yes.
Kidding. Yeah.
She has that effect
So
with people, right? We have to be at our best selves with Mansa.
So this is good. So that you're saying that people from outstation anywhere across the globe can, engage you as an image consultant. One quick thing that I have is, so you have styling, right? You have styling where you do styling consultancy. You have wardrobe consultancy. So what above that, is image consultancy? I know you've answered a bit of it in the first thing, but I just
Yeah.
want you to put it as, blocks. Like you have styling, you have wardrobe, and then what above that is there an image consultancy?
Okay. So, see, styling and wardrobe consultancy are styling specifically is very specific to an event, right?
Right.
Of course, wardrobe consultancy is, overall taking care and managing the wardrobe and even helping the clients out as and when they have a requirement for something.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
image management actually comes before the styling and wardrobe, wherein first you understand what is it that you need.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So a part of image management is the step one is first understand what your requirements are. How do you go about it? What are the colors that I want to work with? And it always depends on a lot of factors. Of course, where are you based? For us Bangaloreans, we're lucky we can wear a lot of fabrics, right? And a lot of all season fabrics. So what will work for me in which situation? And of course, then once the wardrobe and all is done, then comes the other aspects in terms of enhancing the image. Now, what are the gaps? What are those gaps in the personality or the way we want to be seen? Right.
Correct.
So you also spoke about that, people will connect with you only if they feel like they're connected. So there's this one line I came across somewhere that I was reading, and it actually made an impact for me. So people first, so this goes like, we first buy with our emotions, and then we justify with logic, right? So if
True.
so if we're using that for a product, I think that applies to us humans also. If we feel connected to the individual, then we'll spend time investing in a relationship with them.
True.
Right? Wanting to know more about them. So how do we come across? So I also help people understand, come up with a personal branding statement for themselves. This is how I want to be seen. There's a little bit of goal setting, a visioning activity that I do with them in terms of 5 years down the line. And this is, of course, there's a bit of professional aspects also involved. But the main thing is, how do I want to be seen 5 years down the line? What is the one word that people want to say about me?
Correct.
When they talk about me 5 years down the line. And it has nothing to do with my profession. It's about me as a person.
True. So just to make things easier for people. Yeah. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No. So that's exactly. So that is, once they identify that, then I kind of tell them, okay, so if you want to do this, these are the steps you need to take in terms of your communication, in terms of your how are you presenting yourselves, be it your clothing, be it your grooming makes a big difference.
True.
Makeup for women, of course, makeup comes into the picture, accessories come into play.
Correct.
How are you teaming up? What is your face shape? How are you teaming up your accessories? So all of this comes into the image management and the personal branding part of it. Yeah.
Totally. So I think two people probably having the same build, looking the same, can have completely two different results after image consultancy, right? Like for example,
Absolutely.
if somebody wants to go up a corporate ladder and the other person's probably a musician or something creative, they don't have to have the same image consultancy kind of
Absolutely.
results, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's very industry specific also. It's so
True.
if they're, like you said, a musician doesn't need to dress up like a banker
Correct.
to be
Totally. Yeah.
to be able to be identified as a musician. So I have a lot of time people coming up to me and saying, yeah, you look like an image consultant.
Correct.
So you have to look the part also. So how do they look the part is where I come in and kind of guide them. Okay, this is your profession. This is what your goals are. This is what you want to be seen as. So these are
Correct.
things that you need to do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we can take a small break and your second question so that, the
All
people
right.
who
Okay,
watching
so
us.
this is
Yeah.
a little bit of an interesting question, and I wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit. So, what I want our audience to answer in one sentence, okay, this is very important, in just one sentence, how would they define? So, what does power dressing mean for them in just one sentence?
Nice.
What does
Nice.
power dressing mean for them?
I think this is a googly for them. First question and this question, I think
And
it's
trust
got
me,
3 levels higher.
there is no textbook answer. Nobody can Google and give me, there is no perfect answer for this. So whoever gives the
Nice.
most authentic and the most interesting answer is the one who's going to get this one.
Correct.
So yeah, because we hear the word power dressing so much. What does it mean to
Correct.
them? Yeah. A dressing that gives an amazing impact. All right. Impressiveness. Oh, this is one word. I said one sentence, guys. That's good. That's nice.
Right. I think it's a difficult question. You'll have to give them at least 5 more
It
seconds
is.
because
Yeah. No worries. Connection. Okay, that's interesting. Mansa. Power dressing means showing powers. Oh, like Bharat, of course.
God.
Feeling confident in
Thank
making
you.
an impression. Yes. So like I said, there is no right or wrong answer here. I just want to see what your understanding of power dressing is.
Correct.
Nice. Some interesting answers coming up. Yes.
Being confident. Just 5 more seconds, probably. I think there were some answers. Something.
Yes.
One
Because it
second.
will take a while to type out the answers also, right? Sharp. Yes, Mansa.
Volume somehow.
Feeling confident in making an impression. Yes. Minding our dressings that makes to be appealing is what power dressing is about. Nice. Interesting.
Wow.
Confident,
Yeah.
professional.
So I think now. Yeah. So people are going all out, I think now. So
Oh yes.
yeah.
Smriti
What
saying, looking
according
important,
to you?
you can be assertive. Yes, absolutely, Smriti.
Yeah, Neha.
All right.
If you can tell what power dressing according to you is.
Okay. So for me, power dressing, and I'll take off from the last answer because that's quite close to how I think. Of course, looking important so that you can be assertive. For me, it's first and foremost, it's being authentic. Who
Correct.
you really are, right? Don't try to be someone else. Be yourself. That will give you a lot of confidence. That will show the confidence in the way you are dressing and you conducting yourself. So that is the most important. In fact, that is, I think, my most favorite word in the world, authenticity. So being authentic, and of course, then matching it up with the right clothing based on where you're headed. So it's not just if I'm wearing, say, my LBD to a wedding, an Indian wedding, it's not appropriate. It may be power dressing in my workplace, right?
Correct.
So it's about where you're going, who are you going to be meeting with, be yourself, and dress appropriately. So being authentic
Right.
and appropriate, for me, that is the definition of power dressing.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people, there's a lot to learn, right? Because power dressing, like you said, uh, it's it's more like a process, you know.
Oh yes.
It's not that you can just change to a power dressing mode, right? So
It doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. It comes with
yeah,
practice. It comes with practice.
true,
In
true,
fact, even building a personal brand doesn't just happen overnight. And it's not like, "Acha,
correct,
ab ho gaya, so now it stops." No, it's an ongoing process. It's a constant
true,
ongoing process. Yeah.
true. Super, super. So we had some really good questions there. So
Yes. And I'm loving the
yeah, so
answers here. Huh?
yeah, so it's really good answer. So yes, yeah.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you next was, you know, if you had to give some uh, tips to people, you know, something that they can take back today, in like 3 or 4 points, what would you give?
Okay. So for me, one is, of course, in terms of, and the first question that I asked, right, the colors. So I would say invest, and I'm using the word invest very, very intentionally here, because I think clothing is an investment, right?
Right, right.
Especially the professional clothes, you're investing in them. So invest
Totally,
in some.
totally.
Yes, of course, follow the trends and go with your personality, but have some classic pieces always in your wardrobe, right? Because
Correct,
then those you can team up with something that's very much in fashion right now, and
correct,
you're all set for the current trend. um,
correct.
I personally am a very classic person, so I have a lot of classic clothes. So, and this is something I genuinely follow, and I tell all my clients as well. Invest in a few classic pieces, be it your clothing, be it your accessories, be it your shoes, right? A smart black shoe for men,
Correct.
and even a closed toe shoe for women, a pump. These are some good investments to make. So even if it costs a little more than usual, it's fine, because these are versatile. You can wear these many times.
Correct. Correct.
Versus a loud printed blazer, which will catch people's attention, and you can only wear it so many times.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So that's
you can, it's more versatile. Those, invest in those
correct.
kind of garments.
Totally.
Yeah. The second thing I would say is in terms of your communication. So one thing that we all and we know this, again, like I said, we all know this, but we just tend to forget. You're always communicating, so you need to be mindful. Am I making the right amount of, am I making eye contact with people? Am I smiling with people? Being
Correct.
a little self-aware in terms of how am I how are others looking at me? How are they seeing me? Are they feeling
That's a very good
happy
point.
after?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they feeling happy after interacting with me? And how do you do that? You can't just ask a random person, right? Hey, did you feel good after meeting me? No. So a little activity that I get all my clients to do is identify 5 people that you're closest to. Your best friend, your college friend, your family member, even sometimes spouse is a bit of a dicey thing, but I encourage in involving your spouses also in this activity, and ask them to list out about 5 to 7 positive words about you.
Nice.
Okay, so
Nice.
that is how your close circle sees you. Now
Correct.
the next step is, I want my outer circle, the people who are meeting me for the first time, also to see me like this. So then I take them on that journey.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's a very good point. People, if they can work on
Yeah.
this, it's a
Yes.
very
So
nice
that will
takeaway.
also help them identify that, okay, this is how people are looking at me, right? Some people
Totally.
know, some people don't know. So this is a very good activity in terms of understanding who am I.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So that is the second thing. Another thing, so that's your communication part, because what is the signals you're sending to people, right? In terms of
Right.
your etiquette, I know we say, "Arey, yeah, this is very old school," and but there's certain things, and good manners never go out of style. It's
Correct.
always, everybody wants to interact with a person who has good etiquette, who treats the other person with respect. So,
Totally.
and one of the key principles there is, when you're talking, treat others, of course, the way you would want to be treated, but it's not about you. Treat others the way they want to be treated. So
True.
think about, be respectful towards others. even if you have a difference of opinion, and it's absolutely fine, it's very healthy to have a difference of opinion in a work environment, with your family, with your friends, but
Correct.
always be respectful, because if you don't
I
respect,
think that's a very good point. You know, people usually, I don't think so. Anybody really wants to be rude or probably want to hurt someone, but then because they're not aware of it, because
exactly.
they're not thinking about it, they end up doing a lot of things. And I think it happens to all of us, right, in our daily lives.
Yes, I've done
Yeah,
that. I haven't mastered that, by the way. Huh? I
correct.
still go back and say, oh my God, why did I say that? I'm so sorry.
Exactly.
And again, admitting your mistake, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact,
Totally,
that'll make you
totally.
more authentic and more likable by others. That, okay, this person does make mistakes, but they admit it. So, you are more
Correct.
trusted by others like that.
Wow. I think that's a very good point. People can start working on that. So image is not only about, I'm saying, just the front looks, right? It's just being genuine, being, trying to make that effort to,
Yeah. It's,
yeah, it's
yeah,
a whole package. Yeah,
correct. It's a lot about understanding who am I. So
correct,
it's
correct,
there's a term we use as image consultants. It's image from the inside out. So
correct.
first you sort your inside, and then the outside is not that much of a problem. It's more the inside that needs the work on, that we need to work on.
Totally, totally. I
Yeah.
think those are really great points. Yeah. So I think what I want to do in our next segment is just see if we have any questions. Just give me 1 second till I just see if we had.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, you can quickly put it out there on Instagram, and I'll just in the meanwhile see if there's something on Zoom that people are asking.
Sure.
So there are a few questions on Zoom,
Okay.
where the first question, which you asked a few colors that people should have in the wardrobe. We have Sushma asking us, why this stereotype? I think
Okay.
there's some misunderstanding there. So if you can talk about that, that's one thing that you can tell, because the question probably was not understood, right?
Huh.
I don't think so. You meant you should have only those colors in the wardrobe. Uh, yeah,
Those are a
yeah. So
must
that's
have. I mean, because you build your wardrobe on that.
exactly. So if you can just
Yeah.
talk a bit on that,
Sure.
can low people learn about image consulting? Yeah. So can low economic group people learn about image consulting, personal branding? When I say, I think when they say learn about, they will say, can they use image consultants, or they talk about low economic group? So these are the two questions that are there from Zoom. If you
Okay.
could answer,
Sure.
and I think they put it down here also. So yeah, so these two answers, Neha, and then we'll see if we get more questions.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So in terms of the colors, what I meant was, these are the basics. So like how we have a foundation, right? When we build construct a building, for example, we always lay the
Correct.
foundation and then we build a skyscraper from that, right? So for me, the colors that I spoke about, the blues and the blacks and the whites, the grays, the beige, these are the foundation that you build your wardrobe on. So
Correct.
you
Correct.
definitely, and you should have colors. In fact, I've worked with certain clients where their by personality, they're so vibrant and so full of life, and they were wearing such dull and boring colors. And I said, no, you have to have bright colors in your wardrobe, because it enhances your personality. So and they wear those colors to work. One
Now, I
of them
think I
is
like your, yeah, so the example you gave, right? So it just cannot be a foundation. You have to build a building over it, right? You just can't have these
absolutely.
clothes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
have to add
Then we'll
colors.
all look like each other, no? We'll all be looking only
Exactly.
wearing black, gray.
True. So yeah, so the first question didn't mean what are the only things you should have in your wardrobe. It is like
Yes.
what are basic things that you have, and then you build over it, right? You obviously add
These
colors.
these are good to have colors. One, of course, these are, like I said, these are the foundation. And then with these, you can do a lot. You can do play around with colors. You can do a lot of mixing, matching. So that's why
So
I
totally.
feel that these are important to have in the wardrobe.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
We have one more
And
question right down there. I think,
yes.
no, first we can finish the second part, the economic part. And then we have one more
Yes.
question right here. It says, should a person be really good at communications to be an image consultant? So this is more of a career path types. So
Yes.
if you can take both these questions, yeah.
Sure. So I'll take the low economic class people.
Yes.
Definitely anybody can take consultations, and I myself, of course, there are all varieties of people that I work with. I've worked with homemakers, and like I said, it's about the budget that they are comfortable with. So if they want to
Correct.
spend, and yes, I'm flexible on that front in terms of how much do you want to spend, and then I can customize the package for them. I can customize the plan for them. So it's not like it's only for a certain people with certain economic background. There's nothing like that. If you want to work on yourself, if you want to improve how you are coming across to someone else, please reach out. I'll be happy to help.
No, that's great. And yeah, the third question. That's a career path. If somebody wants to become an image consultant, how important is the communication skills?
So communication is an important aspect. It's a very important aspect because you're constantly interacting with people. Now, that being said, I don't think I'm an expert at it yet, and I don't think I'll ever be an expert at it. The more you practice, the better you get at it. It's with anything, right? Nobody was born an expert.
Correct.
And for me, when you become an expert, you stop growing. So I don't even like to use the word expert. It's always that, yes, this is my knowledge I want to share. And so being able to build that connection with people is very important for an image consultant, because people should trust me, right? Why should they listen to me?
Correct. So communication, I think, becomes a very important part of it, and it's a process. It's not like somebody's born with good communication skills.
Absolutely. Fortunately, this is
it
something
can be learned.
we can work on. We can definitely work on this.
Right. And you can obviously learn. I think people evolve, right? I think it happens to all of us. Yeah, I'm an engineer by profession. So people who've seen me during my engineering days, for some reason, I told this last week also, we used to wear loose clothes, man. I don't know, engineers, somehow you can spot an engineer from 2 kilometers, by the clothes he's wearing. So, and then obviously with time, got into the bespoke clothing business because it was an extension of family business. And obviously, dressing has changed quite a bit. So it is evolving. It's not something that somebody has to do from word go, right? People can. Yeah. Same thing with the communication part. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So see, we all change, we all evolve, we all grow, right?
Correct.
Who I was probably 3 years ago, I'm a better person, I hope. I mean, yeah.
Correct.
I've definitely changed from what my thoughts used to be, how I used to behave. And trust me, every interaction, be it a individual interaction that I have with my clients, be it a session that I'm doing for college students, be it an online session for 700 people who've logged in to hear me. Right. It's always a learning process for me. I always want to do better than the last time, right?
Very nice.
Yeah, so it's always evolving, and communication is something that you can very easily pick up, you can learn, you can improve on it a lot. So yeah, you should be just willing to learn. That's it. That mindset should be there. You should have a mindset of learning, a mindset of growth, and anybody can become an image consultant.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I think we are almost done here.
Okay.
So if we can quickly ask your last question, so that people who are glued on the screen,
and
can get a chance to win.
This is something very, very, very dear to me. It's all about etiquette. So let's see how much our audience here knows about etiquette. So the question is, it's a true or false answer. Okay, so all I want in the chat box is just a true or a false. Now the question here is, when you're meeting someone of the opposite gender, right? When you're meeting someone of the opposite gender, a man should always wait for a woman to initiate the handshake. Is that a true statement or a false statement? I'll repeat that. When meeting someone of the opposite gender, should a man wait for a woman to initiate the handshake? Of course, these days we are not shaking hands, but in general, what is the rule? Etiquette rule. Absolutely not. Oh my God. Okay. False. No, not necessarily. Okay. False.
Wow. So
what
it looks like it's so.
What do you think is the answer to this?
No, I can't go. So I think everybody in the audience is saying false. So if I go against them, they'll probably, yeah. I would say false too, but
Yep.
I hope that's the right answer because everybody, I think I didn't get one true yet.
There isn't a single true. Everyone knows they all have their etiquette game sorted there.
Nice, nice. So that's the
Very
right
nice.
answer then, false.
Yes. So good luck to the team finding the deciding the winner for this one.
I know. This is going to be tricky. I just
Sorry,
hope we don't
guys.
have.
40 minutes got
Yeah,
there. All right. So Bharat, I want to ask you something now. Okay.
please.
I've been seeing on Instagram and I've been talking to you. Mansa says depends on the man. All right. So in terms of, I've been hearing a lot about this 108 consultancy, right? Tell me what really is happening. Sounds very exciting. Sounds very interesting. What is really what are you guys coming up with?
Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is, so we were already in the consultancy mode with 108 Bespoke, where our clients, we never had salesmen. We always had designers and stylists who used to take care of the clients.
Yes.
With this pandemic and our stores not functioning, the 2 months got us thinking. We should do something where we knew that there's so many people who need help, and they don't really have to come to us when there's a time of need, right? When they're getting married or when they want to buy something. These are things that they have to work on. So there are two different aspects that we work. Is one is the corporate side and one is the wedding side. Uh, so that's where we had Mansa for the wedding side, and in corporate side, we just realized, people, it's a process like we spoke about, right? It doesn't have to be when you're buying your next suit or when you're buying your next outfit. There's when you need a stylist or an image consultant or somebody. It's something that you have
Correct.
to work on, something that you got to be more aware about, and that's why we thought, having an online mechanism where people can engage such experts, such people who know the subject well, who can help you enhance your style, your wardrobe, your image, right? And that's where we were thinking, and we said, this is something that is a need of the hour. And shockingly, we did a research, and not means there are individual experts, right? But there's no place where you can get everything. There's no place
Yeah.
where, yeah, and that got us thinking. This is a good opportunity for us to, it's a win-win situation where
Yes.
we have people like you, Mansa, who are there out there, and there might be audience who doesn't know about them, and that way we can create a platform which will help both people and the experts, to get it's basically getting them to you guys. Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fantastic.
what got us. Yeah, yeah,
That's really
starting
fantastic
this.
because yes, I know I have clients who struggle with, okay, where should I go for this? So you're basically bringing similar again, our working, the people that we work with are more or less the same. So we're coming together and saying, okay, you know what, this is one stop shop. What do you need? You tell us, we'll offer the solution to you.
Totally. So that's
Yeah.
what we're looking at, and it
Nice.
has nothing to do. So we're not trying to say that everybody who comes to consultancy has to be a 108 bespoke client. That's not our thing that we're looking at. It's a very independent
Yes.
thing, because we're not looking for people only from Bangalore and Chennai. That's where our studios are, and we're looking at anybody across the globe can use these the consultancy, right? So that's what we're planning at. It's a work in progress, and I'm glad to have people like you and Mansa, joining us and seeing, how we can change the world, bit by bit. And
Yes.
these are things which are required. People, I think, in India, abroad, like when I was in US, it's still people are more open to such consultancies, right? But then I think in India,
Yeah.
people have a feeling that if I go to an image consultant or if I take some services like this, what are the other people who get to know about this? No, am I not good enough? They start questioning themselves. I don't think so. That's the
Yes.
right way to think. That's
Correct.
that's
Correct.
something which needs to change, right? And I think it's changing, but it'll take its own sweet time. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
You
In
must have
fact,
faced
some
this quite a
people.
bit. Yeah.
Oh yes, I come across this a lot. In fact, a lot of my clients don't want me to. They don't want. So I of course interact with when I used to go to the in-person meetings. They would never want me to come to their office. It would either
Correct.
be someone else's office or a coffee shop.
Wow.
So they want to keep their identity. Don't tell that I'm working with you. Of course, that's
Exactly.
changing. And when they see the results, and when people start, in fact, one of my clients started out like that. "Okay, no, I don't want anyone to know that I'm like, fine, I respect whatever your wishes are. And then once she started getting compliments at work, and then she came back to me and said, you know what? I told them that I've worked with an image consultant and she helped me with this. I'm like, very good. Thank you so much. Good for you.
I know,
So
that's
yeah.
true. And these simple things that people need to change, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I think people are overthinking about.
I think
And
it's also got to do with I think a little bit to do with our Indian mindset, because we don't like asking for help,
correct.
right? Like, do it yourself, figure it out on your own. No, there are experts out there who are more than willing, and we've studied this. We know what we're talking about, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, just reach out, and we're here to help.
Wow. So thanks a lot, Neha. There was an awesome session. I just loved every bit of it. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
being
thank you.
part of us. And
Yes,
I'm sure people will have a lot of questions. So because this will go as a feed in our other social media, and people who are not watching us live, they
hmm.
can always send questions, and we'll have it answered by Neha and send it back. Before
Happy.
ending the conversation, what we're doing is it's we having top 20 people, first 20 people who register get a free styling session plus a designer mask. The link
Oh,
of it will obviously be shared on the social media. And three lucky winners, like last time, will get a designer shirt. So one of them will get a designer shirt from 108 Bespoke. Uh, and they'll get a designer wallet plus mask. The second person, the third person is going to get a session with Neha, right? So
yes,
these are three people who there will be a process how they can register, and the top three will get these prizes. Again, Neha,
yes.
thanks a lot. So some
Thank you.
last, yeah, last
No,
words from you for
I
everybody who joined.
absolutely loved.
Yeah,
Yeah, I absolutely loved being here, and I mean, amazing the way people are, interacting and commenting in the chat. I loved it. The answers were perfect. I mean, nobody really needed any. Uh, of course, there's a lot more. I just asked very surface questions, so there's a lot more to it. But yes, please reach out, and like Bharat said, ask the questions. And let me tell everyone here, the masks, oh my God, I wish I could win one of the masks, because the designs that you're posting, what you keep sharing with me, amazing. I love it. I love it. So yes,
thanks a lot.
I hope I can get my hands on one very, very soon.
Very soon, very soon. Thank
Yes.
you, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.
You have a
Thank you.
nice
Thanks a
weekend,
lot,
Neha.
Bharat. Thanks. Bye. See you. See you.
Yeah, guys, have a nice weekend too. Bye bye. See you.